Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. I bet you've been wondering, when are we going to start? It said 1 o'clock, but we have a lot of people here, and what's really nice is that we thank the kitchen for all the service that they did for us here at the USPTO. We hope you've enjoyed the conference. Has everyone been having a good time up to this point? So I am going to introduce the introducer of the speaker, but I did want to make a couple of points first. One is that you're probably wondering, what am I going to get as a fellow? Well, what I can tell you is when you come up, you will get a medal. And that medal was picked. It wasn't given to the first group of fellows, but the fellows got together, remember, and we felt we needed a medal that we could wear with our academic regalia. And we decided it wouldn't be a small medal, that it would be a big medal that was heavy, and they designed the medal, the fellows. And so now when you go to your universities and you wear the medal with your academic regalia, you can always tell who's in the National Academy of Inventors, because they're the ones stooping over holding the medal. You also get a trophy, and I'll tell you a quick story. Our first fellow, who we gave a trophy to because he came and gave a talk but couldn't stay for the ceremony, was Bob Langer at MIT. And there's a story to that. And that is your medal, your trophy has a world, just as these pins have a world that changes, that changes the world. This has a world on it. Well, there was one trophy out of all of them that the world was upside down. And when Bob got home to Massachusetts, he called me up and said, Paul, my wife looked at the trophy and the world's upside down. So we immediately went to look at all the other trophies. And he goes, that's okay. I said, do you want a new trophy? He says, no, I like this one because my wife says I've turned the world upside down. So that's the story of the first trophy given. You also get the fellow's pin. When you get off the stage, there's envelopes over here, and in there's a certificate, and there's a fellow's pin for you. And so please enjoy that. Finally, when you come up, and after the lunch, or after the ceremony, there are 4 plaques over there. Can you see them kind of on easels over there? Those are the plaques that are in the Office of Innovation Development here at the USPTO on the wall. And each year, that's the 4 years of fellows. So we now have the 2015 fellows on a plaque there, and they're hung up in the space over there. So they're here in the building. So you can take a look at that, you can take pictures with it, whatever you want afterwards. So now it's my pleasure to introduce Elizabeth Doherty to the stage, who's going to do the introduction. Elizabeth.
Good afternoon, Dr. Sandberg, Deputy Director Slifer, Commissioner for Patents Hirschfeld, Deputy Commissioner Fail, NAI members, NAI fellows, and NAI guests. Welcome to the USPTO. Welcome to America's Innovation Agency. We've gathered here today for a momentous occasion to induct the 2015 NAI Fellows. It might be worth a note to acknowledge that today is also several other important days. It is none other than National Glazed Spiral Ham Day, certainly a true token to innovation. It's also National Rubber Eraser Day. Where would us engineers and scientists be without our handy eraser? The first McDonald's opened today, and the first Ford Mustang rolled off the showroom floor in 1964. Brings back a few good memories, doesn't it? On a more somber note, today is also the day we remember the sinking of the Titanic. As I turn to my duties at hand, introducing you to Commissioner for Patents Drew Hirschfeld, I would like to return to last evening's recognition and acknowledgement of President Abraham Lincoln and his important role as an inventor, a patentee, and an advocate of the importance of invention and innovation in America, and namely the patent system. President Lincoln once said, "Nearly all men can stand adversity, but if you want to test a man's character, give him power." A man who you will hear has held numerous positions of power within the USPTO, while still remaining a man of outstanding character, today manages and leads the patent organization as its chief operating officer. Commissioner Hirschfeld is responsible for managing and directing all aspects of the organization, which affects administration of patent operations, examination policy, patent quality management, international patent cooperation, resources and planning, and budget administration. In his previous role as Deputy Commissioner for Patent Examination Policy, Mr. Hirschfeld served as an authority on patent laws and rules, examining practice and procedure, and provided administrative oversight and direction for the activities of the Office of Petitions, the Office of Patent Legal Administration, and the Office of the Manual Patent Examination Procedure. Further, Mr. Hirschfeld established a patent examination and documentation policy standard for the Commissioner of Patents. Prior to serving as Deputy Commissioner for Patent Examination Policy, Mr. Hirschfeld was the Chief of Staff to the Undersecretary of Commerce for Intellectual Property and Director of the USPTO. Mr. Hirschfeld began his career at the USPTO in 1994 as a patent examiner. He became a supervisory patent examiner in 2001 and was promoted to the Senior Executive Service in 2008 as a Group Director in Technology Center 2100, Computer Architecture and Software. He received a Bachelor of Science from the University of Vermont, which I note, Dr. Sandberg, you've indicated that Vermont is still missing from the rolls of the NAI. He also received a JD from Western New England College School of Law. It's my pleasure at this time to introduce you to the Commissioner for Patents, Drew Hirschfeld.
Good afternoon, everybody. And thank you, Liz, for the extremely kind introduction. Also, I want to say thank you to NAI for having me partake in today's events. It is certainly my honor to be able to do so. And I also want to thank NAI for having me participate on the 2015 Fellows Selection Committee. That is quite an honor for me. Our new class of NAI Fellows is a phenomenal group of academics who lead our way for the future. I'm honored to be working with NAI and to be here with all of you today. It's extremely gratifying for those of us at PTO to watch the NIA grow into one of the foremost organizations that promotes the development of inventions by emphasizing the role of patents. The roles that NAI have and the USPTO have are certainly complementary, and our goals are the same, and that's to support and improve the patent system. Today I wanted to talk with you all about some of the PTO initiatives that we have that we believe will help support the patent system. But before I do, I really wanted to address the NAI Fellows. For me, I was trying to think what I felt like I was trying to express in words, what it was like for me to meet many of you that I met some last night and at prior times. And I couldn't really find what that feeling was like. And then it hit me that this is like when I was a child and my father took me to Yankee Stadium and I got to meet the ball players who I idolized and looked up to. That's the same kind of feeling that I have when I meet all of you. You inspire me and you awe me. And I have been 21 years at the USPTO, and I have been working in various roles to support people like yourselves. And it becomes so real to me when I get to see all the great work that you're doing that it just is absolutely overwhelming. So I owe you a huge thank you. Your work saves lives, enhances the quality of our lives, it drives our economy, it spurs additional research and innovation, and you teach our children. For me, that's important to always keep in mind in my roles at PTO, because it puts everything we do at PTO in perspective. We are here to support the system, and at the heart of the system is the wonderful inventors whose works we're trying to protect, and that is all of you. I know you've heard many of the stats about the NAI Fellows, but I wanted to go through them again because they awe and inspire me. Our current inductees include 6 Nobel laureates, 7 recipients of the National Medal of Technology and Innovation, 3 inductees to the National Inventors Hall of Fame, and over half of the members of the Academy belong to the Academy of Arts and Sciences. Additionally, the class average is that there's 32 issued patents per person. I'm going to say that again, 32 issued patents per person. That is absolutely staggering. So on that note, I need to thank you also for the job security that you've given me at PTO. There's 582 fellows total that represent 190 universities and governments or nonprofit research institutions across the world. Together, those individuals hold 20,000 US patents. Absolutely amazing. So before I dive into some of the PTO initiatives, I had mentioned about perspective, right? It is all that great work that we are trying to help support, and that's been the basis of our patent system. So at USPTO, we pride ourselves in the quality of work that we do, and we pride ourselves in continuing to improve that quality. As public servants, we should always be striving to do better, to better support the inventors like yourselves and those of the next generations. So now I'm going to talk about some of our initiatives at PTO, and I want to start with our All-in STEM program, which last year was announced by our director, Michelle Lee. The All-in STEM program was announced to increase the involvement of women and girls in STEM, from early education to corporate boardrooms. One of the main points of this initiative is to highlight successful female role models in the sciences and change the conversation about STEM being a male-dominated field. I will tell you personally, I met my wife in engineering school, and I joked around that I married a third of the women in the engineering class. I feel very confident that times are changing. Tonight's inductees include 22 women. I'm sure that number will grow, but it's certainly a sign that we're headed in the right direction. I guarantee and I know that those 22 inductees will inspire more young women to pursue careers in STEM. I'm also the father of 3 daughters, and I know they will be inspired by the stories that I'm able to tell. I'd also like to point out that at USPTO, we are very proud of the diversity we have and the roles that women play at USPTO. You've heard me mention our director, who's in charge of the entire agency, Michelle Lee, but there are many other prominent roles that women play at the USPTO. For example, our current Commissioner for Trademarks, our General Counsel, our Chief Policy Officer and Director for International Affairs, 3 of the 4 of our directors of our regional offices, and our Deputy Commissioner for Patent Quality. That's to name a few. As you can see, we have women in very prominent roles at USPTO. Prior to when I became commissioner, the previous commissioner was also a female. And at that time of the agency, I think it was, of course, the only time where you had the director who is in charge of the agency, and both commissioners, the one over patents and the one over trademarks, being females. That's something to be very proud of. I'm going to switch now to the Enhanced Patent Quality Initiative. I spoke a couple minutes ago about our goal to constantly improve. And I know I'm talking with a number of academics, so I know you understand what I'm talking about constant improvement. Michelle Lee announced the Enhanced Patent Quality Initiative in late 2014. The goal behind this initiative, at least from my perspective, was a way to challenge all of us at the USPTO to self-improve and to ask us, what can you do to make everything that you do better? How can you better support the patent system? As a career person, I give Michelle an awful lot of credit because she has come to us and said, do whatever you need to. I want to know about it. I want to hear about it. I want you to have the freedom to make the choices you need to make. And I can tell you, as an employee, what better challenge can you have than to have your boss say, whatever you need to do your job better, you can have. And I think that's an absolute wonderful position to be in. So this is our way of driving our self-improvement. We started with 3 pillars that we focused on. They were excellence in work products and services, excellence in measuring patent quality, and excellence in customer service. As you can see, that's very sweeping. We wanted to have a significant focus. We've also attacked this by working very closely with the public. It was just over a year ago where we had a public summit in this room, and we had many people over 2 days come and learn about what we were proposing were potential steps forward. We had well over 2,000 comments from that summit. We also had numerous Federal Register notices where we asked the public to comment on some ideas we had, and we got feedback from our own employees internally. We took all of this feedback and we created 11 programs. Those programs vary from the way we collect our data to the way we train our examiners to changes in the way we might examine a patent application, for example. They're wide-ranging, and they're certainly too many to get into here today. But you all can get more information about this if you're interested right from our website, or you can contact me, and I will make sure the right people chat with you, or I will chat with you about them. But I did want to focus on one theme that permeates all of these programs, and that has to do with clarity. We are taking steps at PTO like I have never seen in my 21 years to make sure that our examiners are very clear in what they do in their office actions. And it might sound like a trivial step forward, but we all know how challenging words are. We all know how challenging the inventions are. They're very complex. And we all know how challenging the laws are. So if you put that together, we believe that there's often a disconnect between the PTO when looking at a case and the applicants when filing a case and what those words mean. So we're taking steps to have examiners be very clear. We're doing this in our training, and we're doing this in every way that we can think of to make sure that we're taking steps for clarity. We think that during patent prosecution, if we can be more clear, then it'll make prosecution easier on all of the wonderful inventors like yourselves. We also think that if we can be more clear, we'll issue patents with more clear boundaries that competitors can look at and know exactly what is covered by a patent, so they can make educated decisions about, should I seek a license or should I try to design around, for example. And we think the clarity will be better for the applicants because you will probably cut out litigation if your patent rights are more clear. So this has been a significant focus of ours. When I talked about Michelle giving us the freedom to really see how we can attack this without limits, I wanted to talk about a pilot program that we have where we're actually giving examiners more time to do their job to focus on steps of clarity. Again, that might sound trivial, but we have over 8,400 examiners who do an awful lot of cases. To give more time, as we all know, time is money, right? And so it is a step that, to my understanding, we have never taken at PTO. We have given more time for various issues, but we've never given time to say, we want you to be more clear in what you do. And we're testing that out now to see how impactful and how helpful that would be. So these are a number of ways that we're addressing clarity, and in the big picture, we're really addressing how do we self-improve and make ourselves the best that we can be. And again, I'm gonna close with where I started. It's all about perspectives. People like me, I started as an examiner, held a variety of jobs. I've always tried to support people like you, and the improvements that we can make, I think we'll do an even better job as we progress. So with that, I want to say thank you and congratulations to all of you. You are inspiring. You help everybody move forward in a positive way, so thank you very, very much. Take any questions?
Yeah, we can take questions.
Yeah, so I was told that you might want to ask questions, although I will tell you that I would love to ask all of you questions, but if you would like to ask me questions, I'm more than happy to take them if anybody has them. Yes, sir.
Is there any initiative particularly dear to your heart that USPTO has put together recently that will affect inventions in a positive way?
So the question for all of you is there any invention that's near and dear to my heart that will impact inventions in any way? And I have two that jump out to me, and one is what I spoke about is everything that we're doing with regard to clarity. I think that this could be hugely impactful, and hence, out of all the things we're doing, that's what I wanted to focus on to share with all of you. So I think that is a big step for examiners to put their thoughts down more on the record. Another one that's very near and dear to my heart is all of the training that we do for examiners. And I believe in the last few years, we've really increased the amount of training that we do for the examiners, both from a technical standpoint and a legal standpoint as well. One of the steps that we take is we make everything available to the public. So this is getting to your point of your question about make inventions better. I don't know if I would make inventions better per se, but I think we can all help with the prosecution of inventions, because if everybody is talking from the same rules, guidelines, training, I think we're all much better off for it. So I'd be remiss, as I'm talking about training, if I didn't mention one of the programs which is also near and dear to my heart, and that's our Patent Examiner Technical Training Program. And what that is we bring people from the outside, and they come in and they actually train our examiners about the technology. And they keep our examiners up to the state of the art in technology. Now, I can think, if I look around, there's probably some really good people who might be able to do a wonderful job in our Patent Examination Technical Training Program. So if anybody's interested, you can certainly, we can get you signed up for that, and you can come talk with our examiners. It's been a huge success. I will also tell you, I'm sorry, I'm really, rambling on your answer here, but from a career perspective, a person who's been a career at the USPTO, you see paper, you see applications. You don't always get to see inventors like I'm getting to do today. And so that training program where you have people come in and talk to our inventors is absolutely critical for our staff, not only to learn the state of the art, but to really see a lot of the impacts of what they do. And it's been hugely beneficial for us. So thank you. Yes, we have another question here.
Yes, I just wanted to say that in my interactions with patent examiners, I've always felt them to be cordial, and when I talked with them on the phone, I never felt that they went in already convinced about what they said. I felt that they were open and willing to listen. So of many government agencies that I've dealt with, even though I don't always get the decision that I would want, I felt that they've certainly listened and been cordial.
Thank you very much. The comment, in case there was anybody that didn't hear, was that he's always found examiners to be cordial and very supportive, and even though they might not agree, he's always found them to proceed in the proper manner. I certainly appreciate that feedback. Thank you very much. That means a great deal to hear. And we have another question way in the back.
I'd like to raise a problem with patent law, patent interpretation, and innovation. When a patent has expired, the intellectual property has passed, but it still becomes prior art against any new inventor that might have an innovation that would make a huge difference to industry and intellectual development in the United States. So how should intellectual property, which has passed its usefulness, be prevented from the development of new innovation, new intellectual property, new industry?
So the question was, let me paraphrase if there's anybody that couldn't hear that, was the concern, and if I don't do justice to your question, please let me know, but the concern that patents that have expired become prior art against subsequent patent inventions or patent applications, and are hence, there's the concern that they're stymieing innovation instead of helping innovation. Is that correct? So I think that in order to really analyze that, we'd have to, and I don't mean this facetiously, but we'd have to go back to our founding forefathers. Because the whole patent system was based on the idea of you disclose publicly your invention, and then you get in return a limited monopoly. So it's that win-win that you disclose so the public can see it, and then you get to have a benefit for a short period of time. And I think what you're getting at, to me, sounds like the basis of the system, that when you disclose it, of course it now becomes prior art, but in return there's a limited benefit. And then I would only add that I believe the laws are such that while that becomes prior art, there can be future improvements to that prior art which would be eligible for patent protection, and I believe that's at the heart of our system and why it's been successful. Yes, sir.
You stated that correctly, but you have to be very careful not to let that expired prior art be a major impediment. And I don't know how many people in this room may have run into that, but I have. And I suggest that there is a solution, because at the insistence of Congress and other countries who are looking for developments for their own industrial benefit, in the field of drugs, they've introduced orphan drug legislation. And that only applies to a very limited number of conditions. If that application were general, then it would do a great deal to eliminate what in the field of medicine is still a major problem.
Thank you. Let's see. Yes. Okay.
I wonder if you could give us just a quick snapshot of recent statistics in the patent world. The number of patent applications and patents granted increasing, and also how do we stand now on an international scene compared to patents in other countries or American patents obtained by foreign entities?
This will be our last question. Good time.
So the question was about patent statistics, and can I share trends in the USPTO, and also can I compare that internationally? And as for the US, again, I had mentioned that we have over 8,000 examiners. We also have pending at any given time over 1 million patent applications that are in process. So it's quite an overwhelming number. I believe that we have somewhere around 600,000 applications a year, a little lower. Andy Fail, who is helping me out here, he's going higher, lower, no. 550. Oh, 550 in the background, so I got that wrong. Anyway, so, and I'll ask Andy, do you know how many we're issuing? So I'm totally putting you on the spot here.
About 300,000.
So 300,000 issuances in a year. And I will confess that I will not be able to compare internationally to other countries. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. You're going to stay up here.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Commissioner Hirschfeld. This might be a chance, since we heard from our new fellow, Pat McGeer, over there from the University of British Columbia. I just wanted to say that he and his wife are our first husband and wife inductees, him and Edie. And today, and I understand that today is your 62nd wedding anniversary? Congratulations. Now, before we begin the Fellows induction, we have a very special ceremony to take place this year. I'm pleased to announce that the NAI and the USPTO have reached a Memorandum of Agreement. I would like to invite Deputy Director Russ Silfer to join us on stage to say a few words and join me in the signing of this important document. Russ?
Thank you, Paul. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the USPTO. I know you've been welcomed already, but I get to do it again. My title at the USPTO is actually the longest in the federal government, so bear with me a second. I'm going to share this with you, and I've got a point for this. So I'm the Deputy Undersecretary of Commerce for Intellectual Property and the Deputy Director of the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Having a long title does not mean that you're real intelligent. I've spent my entire life, I've been blessed to spend my entire life surrounded by individuals like you. I have the pleasure of working with, you heard Drew, working with Drew, and our executives here are fantastic. I spent my 20 years as a patent attorney working with inventors, working in a corporate world surrounded by literally thousands of engineers and scientists. And now I get to assist by running this agency and working with individuals like you. So while I couldn't do what you do, I get to spend time with you. It's our pleasure at the USPTO for the last 5 years to have a relationship with the Academy, and it is my pleasure also to sign our Memorandum of Agreement that we're going to continue to cooperate together and host events, awards, and that the annual meeting every other year will continue to be held at the USPTO and allow our employees to be able to meet with you, hear from you, see what all of the work that you do and that they do, how it comes together to help our nation and innovators around the world. So thank you. I believe that we're going to sign this agreement now.
It's right here.
Oh, we've got it right here.
Here we go.
This is the official plan.
Okay, sign.
It's a much nicer signature than mine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you, Russ. We really appreciate it, and the Academy appreciates it. The Academy started really, the inauguration ceremony of the Academy was actually by David Kapos, the Undersecretary of Commerce, 5 years ago in Tampa, and so it's great to finally have this document. Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite, oh, wait a second, but wait, there's more. Okay. So, since you're both up here, we would like to give you something special from the Academy. Russ, come on back. And so, we really appreciate your help, what you've done for us, and continually do for us. And we'd like to make you an honorary member of the Academy. Thank you.
So the long title did work.
This makes you, I don't know if it makes you smarter, but it's, yeah. Also, we have one more because Drew Hirschfeld, thank you so much for what you've been doing. And I know you have a long job right now giving out medals. It takes a long time.
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward. And so, also, Drew, we would like to make you an honorary member.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Russ.
Thank you.
Just also to let you know, as you get your trophies and everything, we want them to walk up. Which way are we having them walk? Kira? Which way are they walking up? This way?
Yes.
Okay, so you'll walk up on that side, come around, and then you'll go down this side. You'll end up getting your envelope over here. And there are also boxes that you can get later that came with your trophies, that you can put your trophies in the boxes, okay? All right, so at this time now, anything else? Okay, the A's start here. We're going to work forward that way. All right, and you should have a book, a fellow's book that our staff puts so much time into going through, putting it together. I think it's a really nice book. And you can go through them and you can read about each of yourselves and others and enjoy that as well. Okay, so now at this time, I would like to invite our 2015 fellows to come forward and sit in the chair marked with your name over there to the right of the stage. And the fellows are seated in alphabetical order. Okay, so before we begin, well, now that you're sitting together in a different way, it's a great networking opportunity over there. But we're going to start, okay, and you can and do this. At Caltech, it was a little bit easier because lunch was somewhere else, and then everyone was already seated like that. But this worked out really nice. So before we begin announcing our 2015 fellows, I'd like to take a moment to recognize our 2012 Charter Fellows, our 2013, our 2014 fellows who are with us today. Would all fellows who have been inducted in previous years and come to watch, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. I saw a few that didn't stand, but that's okay. All right. You are the fellows that helped start this all, and we appreciate it. Finally, following, listen carefully because this will be different than what we said earlier. Following the induction ceremony, we'd like to get a couple of group photographs. First one of all the fellows here today, so all years. And second, just the 2015 fellows only, which we'll probably use on a cover of one of our journal. We will be taking the pictures on the steps right outside where you entered. Remember where you entered there? That way? Steps through the atrium. Okay, we'll find it. Okay. So please gather at the close of the ceremony to get the photographs. Immediately following the photography, our reception will now be held in the atrium where you entered. And this is due to the length of security that we have to go through to get to the upstairs room. We decided to do it out here versus going up to, through security. All right, so as you're called, please come forward, and congratulations to all of you.
C. Molly Agrawal, the University of Texas at San Antonio. Jayakrishna Ambadi, University of Kentucky. Ivor E. Anderson, Iowa State University. Christy S. Anseth, University of Colorado, Boulder. Alan W. Ablett, Oklahoma State University. Charles J. Arnzen, Arizona State University. Harry A. Atwater, Jr., California Institute of Technology. John M. Bellotto, Clemson University. John S. Barris, University of Maryland. Isa Batarse, University of Central Florida. Ray H. Bachman, the University of Texas at Dallas. Angela M. Belcher, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Shekhar Bansali, Florida International University. Sangeeta N. Bhatia, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. J. Douglas Birdwell, the University of Tennessee, Knoxville. Kenneth J. Blank, Rowan University. Dale L. Boger, the Scripps Research Institute. Charles A. Bauman, Purdue University. John E. Bowers, University of California, Santa Barbara. Gary L. Bolin, University of Memphis. C. Jeffrey Brinker, the University of New Mexico. Emory N. Brown, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. Richard B. Brown, the University of Utah. Stephen R.J. Bruick, the University of New Mexico. Salim A. Shakur, University of South Florida. Mao Chung Frank Chang, National Chiao Tung University. Mary Dell Chilton, Washington University in St. Louis. Diana S. Chow, University of Houston. Chung K. Chu, University of Georgia. Yogandir Chug, Southern Illinois University. William J. Clancy, Institute for Human and Machine Cognition. Katrina Cornish, The Ohio State University. Delos M. Cosgrove III, Cleveland Clinic. Alan W. Cramb, Illinois Institute of Technology. Roy Curtis III, University of Florida. P. Daniel Dapkus, University of Southern California. John G. Dogman, University of Cambridge. Atom P. Dewan, New Jersey Institute of Technology. Dwayne B. Demos, the University of Texas at Arlington. David M. Eddy, University of South Florida. Nader Ngata, University of Pennsylvania. Antonio F. Facchetti, Northwestern University. Rudolph Faust, University of Massachusetts, Lowell. Robert E. Fischel, University of Maryland. Christodoulus Flutus, Texas A&M University. Scott E. Frazier, University of Southern California. Jean M.J. Frechette, King Abdullah University of Science and Technology. Sanjeev S. Gambier, Stanford University. Shubhra Gangopadhyay, University of Missouri. Ali Hajimiri, California Institute of Technology. Naomi J. Hallis, Rice University. Wayne W. Hanna, University of Georgia. Sherry L. Harbin, Purdue University. Florence P. Hazeltine, National Institutes of Health. Charlotte A. E. Hauser, King Abdullah University of Science and Technology. Craig J. Hawker, University of California, Santa Barbara. Barton F. Haynes, Duke University. Andrew B. Holmes, the University of Melbourne. Leon D. Isamidis, Louisiana Tech University. Mir Imran, University of Pittsburgh. Donald E. Ingber, Harvard University. Christina M. Johnson, University of Colorado, Boulder. Aaron V. Kaplan, Dartmouth College. Usa N. Qasid, Georgetown University. Stephen J. Cubison, the George Washington University. Donald W. Landry, Columbia University. Sungyu Lee, Ohio University. Guifeng Li, University of Central Florida. James C. Liao, University of California, Los Angeles. Anthony M. Lohman, Rowan University. Rodney S. Markin, University of Nebraska Medical Center. Tobin J. Marks, Northwestern University. Dean F. Martin, University of South Florida. Helen S. Mayberg, Emory University. Edith G. McGeer, the University of British Columbia. Patrick L. McGeer, the University of British Columbia. Maya Mayapin, NASA Ames Research Center. Thomas E. Milner, the University of Texas at Austin. Umesh K. Mishra, University of California, Santa Barbara. Samnath Mitra, New Jersey Institute of Technology. Andreas F. Molish, University of Southern California. Romney Narayan, Michigan State University. Alan C. Nelson, Arizona State University and Vision Gate. David R. Nygren, the University of Texas at Arlington. Richard M. Osgood, Jr., Columbia University. Alyssa Panich, Purdue University. H. Ann Pereira, University of Oklahoma Health Sciences Center. H. Vincent Poor, Princeton University. Anne Progolsky Fox, University of Florida. Susie H. Punn, University of Washington. Kaushik Rajashekara, the University of Texas at Dallas. Jahengar Rostengar, Stony Brook University. A. Hari Reddy, University of California, Davis. E. Albert Reese, University of Maryland. Jasper D. Rhine, University of California, Berkeley, and Howard Hughes Medical Institute. Ajit Rohatgi, Georgia Institute of Technology. Stephen D. Russell, Space and Naval Warfare Systems Command. Michael J. Saylor, University of California, San Diego. Bhagat G. Somakia, Binghamton University. Jonathan L. Sessler, the University of Texas at Austin. Moshen Shahinpur, University of Maine. Ben A. Schneiderman, University of Maryland. Marvin J. Slepian, the University of Arizona. Kwok Phai So, the University of Hong Kong. Richard A. Sorif, University of Massachusetts, Boston. Pramod K. Srivastava, University of Connecticut. Andrew J. Steckel, University of Cincinnati. Valentino J. Stella, the University of Kansas. Galen D. Stuckey, University of California, Santa Barbara. Bala Subramonian, the University of Kansas. R. Michael Tanner, the Association of Public and Land Grant Universities. James M. Tour, Rice University. Kaliat T. Valsaraj, Louisiana State University. Norman J. Wagner III, University of Delaware. Yang Wang, Washington State University, Pacific Northwest National Laboratory. Carolyn C. Whitaker, The Ohio State University. J. F. Whitaker, Carnegie Mellon University. Helena S. Wisniewski, University of Alaska, Anchorage. Edward D. Wolf, Cornell University. Paul K. Wright, University of California, Berkeley. James C. Wyant, the University of Arizona. Yu Dong Yao, Stevens Institute of Technology. Martin L. Yarmish, Rutgers, the State University of New Jersey. Jianping Zhang, Florida State University.
Thank you, Commissioner Hirschfeld. Oh, wait. Okay. And please give our thanks to Deputy Director Slipher. So this concludes the conference, and we hope to see you next year in Boston at our 2017 meeting. I think we should just thank all the new fellows one more time. It was just fantastic. Thank you. So what we're going to do, what Kira just told me, my boss, is that we are going to let everybody go to the reception for the new fellows because it's right out here. And you don't have to go through security and go upstairs to a smaller room. So we invite you all to the reception, and the buses, of course, will be leaving back for the hotel as you need them. Okay, so thanks again, and that is the conclusion of our conference. Thanks.